I want you to think of something you've been meaning to do for a long time. Not today, not this week. I mean something you've been putting off for months, maybe years. You know exactly what it is. Now, ask yourself this question, and I want you to be honest. Do you actually believe you're going to do it? Because here's the thing. You've told yourself you would before, many times, and something always came up. Something always got in the way. Or nothing got in the way, you just didn't. We call that procrastination. We treat it like a bad habit, a character flaw, a discipline problem. But what if procrastination isn't the problem at all? What if it's a symptom of something so much deeper that every productivity hack, every motivational speech, every alarm you've ever set has been treating the wrong thing? What if procrastination is a trap, and the cruelest part of the trap is that it's been designed to feel like freedom? Stay with me. Here's what everyone agrees procrastination is: putting off important tasks in favor of easier, more comfortable activities. Here's what nobody tells you about that definition. It's describing the behavior, not the cause. And when you only treat the behavior, you're playing whack-a-mole with yourself forever. The real definition, the one that will actually help you, is this. Procrastination is your nervous system's attempt to avoid a perceived threat by substituting a more immediately rewarding action. Perceived threat. Not a real threat, a perceived one. Your brain cannot always tell the difference between a lion in the grass and an email you don't want to write. To your nervous system, both trigger the same response: avoid, escape, delay. This is crucial, because if procrastination is a protection mechanism, not a laziness problem, then willpower is the wrong tool entirely. You can't willpower your way out of a biological response. That's like trying to logic your way out of flinching. So what are you actually afraid of? Because there is always something. Fear of failure, fear of success, fear of judgment, fear of the sheer effort it's going to take, fear that even if you do the thing, it won't be enough. The task isn't the enemy. The threat your brain has attached to the task, that's the enemy. And here's where it gets diabolical. Your brain doesn't just protect you from the threat, it rewards you for avoiding it. Every time you choose Netflix over your project, your brain releases dopamine. It literally teaches you that avoidance feels good. It trains you to stay in the cage. The cage becomes comfortable. Now that we know what procrastination really is, I want to show you the 4 specific ways it keeps you locked in. These are the 4 traps inside the trap, and I promise you, you're living in at least 2 of them right now. Trap 1, the preparation trap. This is the most seductive trap because it feels like progress. You're researching, you're planning, you're making the perfect spreadsheet, you're watching one more tutorial, you're getting ready to get ready. The preparation trap is genius because it gives you something to tell yourself. I'm not procrastinating, I'm preparing. But preparation without execution is just organized avoidance. At some point, the plan has to become the work. Ask yourself, is there something you've been preparing for longer than it would have taken to just do it? That's the trap. Trap 2, the perfect moment trap. I'll start on Monday. I'll begin once things calm down. I'll do it when I'm in the right headspace, after the holidays. The perfect moment trap is built on a lie that conditions will ever be ideal. They won't. Conditions are never ideal. The people who accomplish extraordinary things aren't the ones who waited for perfect conditions. They're the ones who built momentum in imperfect ones. The perfect moment isn't waiting for you out there. It's created by action, not found in time. Trap 3, the identity trap. This one is the most invisible and the most powerful. At some point, you started calling yourself a procrastinator. Maybe you didn't say it out loud, but you believed it. And once a behavior becomes an identity, your brain works overtime to confirm it. I'm just someone who works best under pressure. I've always been this way. I don't have the discipline for that kind of life. This is the identity trap. You've made procrastination a personality trait, something that is you, rather than something you're currently doing. And you cannot behave your way out of an identity you're unconsciously protecting. This is why you can have every productivity tool in the world and still not change. The tool doesn't touch the story. Trap 4, the urgency trap. Here's the dark irony at the heart of procrastination. Delay creates urgency, and urgency feels like productivity. When the deadline finally arrives, you kick into high gear. You work fast, you feel alive, and then when it's done, part of you thinks, see, I do better under pressure. So your brain files that away. Next time, delay again. Wait for the pressure. It works. Except, this cycle slowly destroys the quality of your work, your health, and your relationship with yourself. You're not working well under pressure. You're working with adrenaline, replacing the judgment and creativity that only come with time and rest. The urgency trap turns your life into a series of crises you created yourself. Let's talk about why you've tried to fix this before and it didn't stick. Not because you're broken, not because you lacked discipline, but because every solution you were handed was aimed at behavior, while the cause lived somewhere else entirely. Failed Cure 1, the motivation fix. You watched the video, you felt fired up, you started, and then a few days later, the feeling was gone. That's because motivation is an emotion, not a system. Emotions are temporary. You cannot build a life on a feeling that was designed to be temporary. Failed Cure 2, the discipline override. You told yourself to just push through, just do it, force yourself. And maybe you did for a while. But forcing creates resistance. Resistance creates resentment. And resentment makes the task feel even more threatening the next time. Forcing bypasses the nervous system. It doesn't rewire it. Failed Cure 3, the system fix. You got the perfect planner, the perfect app, the perfect morning routine. The system was immaculate. And then real life showed up and broke the system. And without the system, you fell apart. Here's why systems fail procrastinators specifically. A system is an external structure, but procrastination lives in your internal threat response. You can build the most elegant external architecture in the world, and your nervous system will find a way to avoid the thing inside it. The real issue, the root, isn't motivation, isn't discipline, isn't organization. The real issue is emotional regulation. You procrastinate on things that trigger discomfort, fear, self-doubt, overwhelm, boredom, perfectionism, and you've never been taught how to sit with discomfort long enough to act through it. That's the skill nobody sells you, because it's not a product, it's a practice. I'm not going to give you a 5-step system. I'm going to give you the one shift that makes every other tool work. It's called tolerating the gap. The gap is the moment between the impulse to avoid and the action you know you should take. It's that specific moment when you open your laptop to work and feel the pull toward your phone. It's the moment before you start writing and feel the urge to check one more thing. It's the moment you sit down to do the hard thing and the hard thing suddenly feels impossible. Most people respond to that moment by escaping it. Every time you escape it, you teach your brain that the gap is dangerous. Every time you sit in it, even for just a few seconds, you teach your brain that you can survive discomfort. Here's what tolerating the gap looks like in practice. You notice the urge to avoid. You name it out loud if you can. I feel like escaping right now. Then you don't move for 60 seconds. You sit with the feeling. You don't fight it, you don't feed it, you witness it. And then, and only then, you take the smallest possible step into the task. Not the whole task, one sentence, one calculation, one email. You make the entry cost so low that your nervous system stops treating it as a threat. This is how you rewire the association between the task and the threat, not through force, through repetition of safe exposure. And alongside that practice, one more thing. Stop calling yourself a procrastinator. Not because it's positive thinking, because identity precedes behavior. Every time you call yourself a procrastinator, your brain hears it as a contract, and it fulfills it. Instead, I am someone who is learning to act through discomfort. That's not a lie, that's a direction.
Here's what I want to leave you with. The tasks you've been avoiding aren't waiting patiently for you to be ready. Time is moving regardless. And the gap between the person you are and the person you could be, it doesn't close on its own. But I don't want you to feel urgency about that right now. Urgency is the wrong fuel. It's the trap's fuel. I want you to feel something quieter, something more honest. I want you to feel the weight of one thing you could do today. Not a life transformation, not a new system. One thing, the smallest version of the thing. And before you do it, before you open the document, before you make the call, I want you to notice what comes up. Notice the discomfort, name it, sit in it for 60 seconds, and then start. Procrastination is a trap, but traps can be seen. And once you see it, really see the mechanism, the way it works, the way it's been protecting you from your own life, it loses some of its power. Not all of it, not immediately, but some. And some is enough to start. If this video changed something for you, even a small thing, subscribe, because the work we do here is exactly this, going beneath the surface of the obvious, into the uncomfortable truth underneath. That's the only place real change lives. I'll see you in the next one.